And of the 60th annual meeting of the Board of Governors of the AFDB Group and the 51st meeting of the Board of Governors of the African Development Bank fund kicked off on Monday at the Sofitel Hotel in Ivory in terms of Abidjan, rather, Cote d'Ivoire, under the theme making Africa's capital work better for Africa's development. And leaders, policymakers and partners have gathered to shape the future of financing for Africa's growth. And speaking with anchor and business correspondent Rise News Channel today earlier, the president of the African Development Bank Group, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, described his 10-year presidency as a consuming yet profoundly fulfilling mission.
Well, 10 years have gone pretty fast, but it's been incredible in the history of the bank. If you take a look at what we've been able to do in 10 years, first and foremost, we raised the capital of the bank from $93 billion to $318 billion. The concessional financing arm of the bank is called the African Development Fund. It was set up in 1973. You know, under my presidency, the 16th replenishment of it, we raised $8.9 billion for the 37 low-income countries, which is the highest ever in the history of that fund since it was set up in 1973. If you take a look at what we've done for private sector, through the Africa Investment Forum, which I set up with our partners in 2018, we mobilized well over $225 billion. If you take a look at what has happened in the lives of people where it really matters, you know, electricity is very important. We connected 28 million people to electricity. If you take a look at what has happened for food security, 103 million people achieve food security in the period of 10 years. That's incredible. If you look at what has happened in terms of access to health services, over 128 million people had access to improved health services because of our investments. And if you take a look at transport, because we invest a lot, we invested more than $55 billion in transport in the last 10 years. If you take a look at it, it has impacted on more than 125 million people. Take a look at the institution itself. The African Development Bank you see today is not the same one you used to know. The African Development Bank was ranked as the best multilateral financial institution in the world, right, under my presidency. The second one is, and my staff are doing an incredible job, and my board of directors. If you take a look at also what has happened in terms of transparency and good governance, look, that's what they call Publish What You Fund, which is a global index on transparency. We scored 98.8%, which is the highest ever in the history of that index globally. We were ranked, the African Development Bank, the most transparent financial institution in the world. So what is the thing that I feel proud the most? I'm proud of what we've done. We survived COVID. We supported Africa right through COVID. We supported Africa right through the full crisis that was coming from the Russian war in Ukraine. And we are supporting Africa's voice globally in everything. And so the African Development Bank you see today is a global institution. I just owe a lot of appreciation, thanks to all the 81 country shareholders of the bank who have entrusted me with the leadership, the resources, with the platform. As I always say, this was never a job for me. This is a mission. As an African, but as a Nigerian, it was a great pleasure for me to represent my country. And I was in my last closing remarks, I'm going to thank the presidents that sent me here from Nigeria. I believe I've made Nigeria tremendously proud, not only here, but also in terms of the history of this bank, but also globally. But I couldn't get here alone. People put me here, supported me to get here. So President Jonathan, President Buhari, who supported me, and also all the other presidents, from President Obasanjo, President Abu Salam, and take a look at all the General Babangida who supported me. Take a look at General Gawam, who actually at his age went with me to campaign. And look at Vice President Abubakar. Take a look at Vice President Oshibaki when he was in government. And you take a look at Vice President Shetima today. And you take a look at even President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the last 2 years. And everybody has been very, very good in supporting me and many others among all of our elders. So and of course, I must say, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala was the incredible Minister of Finance, but she supported me tremendously in what I was doing. And so I owe a lot of thanks to Nigeria, Nigerians who trusted me with a position of leadership, but I believe I've done Nigeria extremely well.